Empire Talk Radio Network.
Prepare for launch in 3, 2, 1.
And away we go.
Say A, say M, say E, say R, say I, C, say A, M.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Ron Edwards American Experience Talk Show, where our unalienable rights are celebrated. And now, your radio refreshment, Ron Edwards.
Hello. Welcome. This is the Ron Edwards American Experience. I'm Ron Edwards, your happy host, and welcome to this edition of the Ron Edwards American Experience. It's all about America, we the people, and we the people who love liberty, not only here in the United States, but throughout the world and throughout the 23 countries that are tuning in to this great broadcast. And I thank you all from wherever you are tuning in from. Well. Where do we start? My gosh. The Biden administration wants to continue to forge ahead with masks, mandates, and things of that nature. They just won't let the face diapers go, will they? They just want us to, I guess they want everyone to get bad breath, bad gums, bad skin, and all of the other horrible, drawbacks from continuously wearing masks. And here we go. You can't trust those Republicans. No. You can't trust them. They're dirty rats, those dirty rats. You know, I'm talking about the statist Republicans known as rhinos. You know, Brian Kemp, the rhino Republican governor of Georgia, he's getting a lot of help from a lot of other Republican governors. They're buying ads in Georgia to help him out. Why? Because many Republicans love the status quo. It's a shame. It really is. They say the cavalry is coming to rescue Georgia Governor Brian Kemp, with the Republican Governors Association ponying up $500,000 for a television and advertising campaign. That is just the beginning of an effort to help the incumbent fend off a primary challenge and in a second term. The RGA affiliate, RGA Georgia, 2022 PAC this week went on the air statewide with Fight Back, a positive 30-second spot extolling Kemp's accomplishments, juxtaposing his leadership in Atlanta against President Joe Biden's out-of-control spending, skyrocketing inflation, and invasion on the southern border. Invasion my backside. The man is in bed with China, just like Mitch McConnell and just like Joe Biden. And Joe Biden's son. Can't trust these Republicans. Yes, he's good on some issues, a lot better than any Democrat would be. That's true. But when it comes down to certain issues that affect this nation, they're all the same. They're in bed with Democrats when it comes to the Chinese and when it comes to allowing cheating electronically, that is, in the election process. Drop boxes, you know the drill. We got to stop that madness. What's the point in going through all this exercise of vote for me or now set you free if it all boils down to who can cheat the best, who has access, who will be allowed to be kicked out among those who are supposed to be watching, the poll watchers? Will it be like it was in Detroit, where they booted out all the known Republican poll watchers? They booted them out and even put stuff on the windows to stop them from even looking in. But if you were a Democrat poll watcher, you were allowed to stay. Those kind of things were allowed to happen, and the GOP said little or nothing. In fact, the state legislature in Michigan went hardball against those few conservative Republicans who wanted to speak out against this travesty. and even presented evidence. But the gangster Rhino GOP of Michigan went hard against those trying to expose the truth. So we, the people, have to really watch our backsides this coming election. U.S. trade with the communist China is a horrible problem. It's a horrible, horrible problem. And that's something we need to address. We're going to be talking about that later on. Mr. Trudeau is under fire. Prime Minister Trudeau of Canada has endured a second day of intense heckling, insults, and accusations. And deservedly so. He is they say, I don't know if this is true or not, but they say that he's a son of one of the Castro brothers of Cuba fame, and that he is a sworn, communist, just like Ali Obama. Isn't it amazing how these people, they all came up together through the same influence under the Schwab organization? Yes, Schwab. Very interesting. And all of these guys work together. Newsom of California, Trudeau of Canada, Ali Obama, and many others, all out to destroy not only this country, but any sparks of liberty or freedom around the world. See, they see you and I as nothing more than peons. Peons, little peons, serfs, dolts, as it were. But we're not. The truckers are proving that. The truckers are a big thorn in their sides. And see, that should be considered as the first step in the battle against tyranny. It's a great first step. Now it's up to the rest of us. About 200 million of us in the United States alone should stand up and say, hell to no and no to hell. Or as they say, no, hell no and no to hell. We should tell the progressives, the subversives is what I call them. We should tell them, hell no, we're not going to go along anymore. As Nancy Reagan used to say, just say no. And we've got to do that. Now, from the land of idiots, let's pluck one of them out. Jonathan Allen. Let's pull this guy up. He's from the land of idiots, morons, knuckle draggers. Well, guess what? Jonathan Allen, he is a football player. Now, unbelievable. This guy, you know what he said? That Hitler is a genius. And what makes him extra stupid is that he's a black American. Now, if anyone knows the history of Hitler, Mussolini, all those guys, right? Although, black people didn't matter as much as the Jews, did you know that Mussolini went after blacks, especially in Ethiopia and Africa, at the request of Hitler? And did you know that after they were finished with the Jews, they wanted to go after the blacks even in greater numbers? They killed about 600,000 blacks in northern Africa. And this Gump here, this football Gump, says that he's a military genius and he'd like to have dinner with Hitler. What a guy. And you know why he feels like this? Because his dumb butt was indoctrinated in government schools. See, he wasn't born dumb. I'm not saying that he was born that way or anything like that, but you become dumb once you are processed through government school, and that's what you believe, and you ensconce that into your brain. And that's how you operate and you think. And you make yourself into an idiot. Unbelievable. We're going to have some believable stuff in just a few minutes on this, the Ron Edwards American Experience.
Yabba, dabba, do.
The Ron Edwards American Experience Talk Show, where our unalienable rights are celebrated.
Looking at the world through the sunset in your eyes. Traveling in the train through clear Moroccan skies. Ducks and pigs and chickens call. Animal carpet wall to wall. American made is 5 foot
Constitutional Grounds, the hot air roasted coffee that produces a smoother, richer, healthier, and less acidic coffee. Our unique hot air roasted coffee has a most delicious taste everyone is raving about. Because you want the best, Constitutional Grounds is the coffee you want in your cup. Simply go to theronedwards.com and click on to the Constitutional Grounds coffee display to make your purchase, and to be sure to use the RE20 promo code, and you will receive a 20% discount. Remember, Constitutional Grounds, the coffee you want in your cup.
Nobody wants to get ripped off, broken into, or robbed, but nobody wants to pay a lot of money to have their home protected either. I've got an offer to tell you about to provide home security for your home for less than $1 a day. For real, with no installation or equipment charges. And this is from a company rated #1 by a leading consumer research company. According to the facts, most of you won't even call unless there's a burglary in your neighborhood or something bad happened. So let's give you a reason. Save money. For less than $1 a day with no other costs, you can get your home secured. Plus, get a lifetime equipment replacement warranty. You need protection for your home. Call the Home Security Hotline right now.
800-430-6715. That's 800-430-6715.
Come on, you watch the news. Be prepared to pay more taxes. Then if you owe back taxes or haven't filed in a few years, get ready. The IRS, the largest collection agency in the world, will be coming after you with the power to collect taxes by any means they want to. Hey, they can freeze your bank account, your passport, even padlock your business. Oh, good times. Look, if the IRS claims you owe them $5,000 or more in back taxes and they're coming after you, don't panic. Call my friends at Get a Tax Lawyer first. Their job is to negotiate with the IRS and save you money. They're experts at it. That's all they do. And you can trust them. In some cases, they have reduced a $50,000 tax bill to less than $1,000. If you owe the IRS $5,000 or more in back taxes, call now for a free consultation.
800-908-6084. 800-908-6084. That's 800-908-6084.
America's favorite get-together, the Ron Edwards American Experience. Join in at 985-218-0185. That's 985-218-0185.
Blowing away the myths and revealing the truth on the Ron Edwards American Experience.
Michelle, my belle, these are words that go together well. My Michelle, Michelle, my belle, someday more keep on.
We're back. You're listening to the Ron Edwards American Experience. I'm Ron Edwards, your happy host, and thank you so much for tuning in this great day. Merriam-Webster defines the word patriot, meaning as a person who loves and strongly supports or fights for his or her country. The word comes from the Latin word pater, meaning father, and the Greek word pater, meaning us, the root pater, or pater. As mentioned, this is a wonderful thing. And the reason why I'm reading this is because this is part of the description of our guest today. Her name is Michelle Haroon. She is with Convention of States, and she is a first-generation American, taught from a very young age that America is a wonderful country full of endless possibilities for anyone who works hard and has integrity. Hello, Michelle, and welcome back.
Hello. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction.
You're welcome. Hey, what's up? What are some new updates with you guys, the Convention of States? Any more states joining in, and any more meetings coming up here in Michigan or around the country that you're privy to?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. So on January 25th, we added Wisconsin. So we are trying to, just to back up, we are trying to support 34 states passing a resolution that they're going to use Article 5 of the Constitution to create a convention to propose some amendments such as term limits for Congress and other bureaucrats, and also some budget restraints for the federal government, and get the federal government out of things that local groups can take care of. So, yes, certainly, I mean, we're on fire. You can imagine with all the things going on right now, I mean, there's so much energy and so much frustration, and people are just excited that, wow, this is something that we can actually do. You know, just regular people can have the huge influence on you know, the way the government is running, which is amazing. So,
are you guys energized by what the world is witnessing with the truckers up in Canada? And I understand that they're beginning to mobilize and start rolling here in the United States. Don't you think that that is a great first big step in this fight for liberty? And that wouldn't it be great if about 200 million more of us joined with this effort at one time, all of us working together in our various metrons? And then I think we would put a big, big whammy against big government, against the statists, Republicans and Democrats. And I think we could really turn things around if they found out and they understood that we were as serious as those truckers are, all of us together. What do you think about that?
Yes, certainly. I mean, the more people wake up, so to speak, the better. I mean, this is going to take a lot of people, the energy of a lot of people, and I mean, it accumulates to be a lot. It doesn't seem like a lot when you're just one person, but it really does add up to a lot when there's a large number of people. We have some new ideas that we are rolling out this year in 2022 for Michigan. We're trying to encourage people to do things that are kind of meet them where they are, that they can, hey, you know, you can attend county commissioner meetings, you can attend school board meetings, and all those little things. Yeah, it takes a long time to do the things like passing a state, but these are things that we can all, you know, readily just go do and show up, show our faces. And I mean, it lets people know that, oh, okay, we have to actually take this seriously.
Yep, and that's it. So it's what's going to happen. I really believe that you know, in a backhanded way, we're going to be thanking Joe Biden for all of his shenanigans, because, you know, like I tell people a lot of times, I used to think that it was Ali Obama who would be the slap across America's face that would wake her up. Well, she woke up a little bit, but not enough. And here we are today, and I think this will do it. When you combine Biden and Obama behind the shadows, and what Nasty Pelosi and Schumer and all these people are doing, and Mitch McConnell, by the way, working together to destroy our country, literally. I think this is it. This is the time. We don't have much time, but because it is so bad on so many fronts, many people realize we have no choice but to get involved in what they have been putting up with or going along with to get along. Could wipe out their lifestyle. I mean, it's going to be very personal in the not too distant future if we don't hurry up and turn things around. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're spot on with that. That we're kind of backhandedly thanking these guys for really waking people up and making them feel it at home, because that's really what, unfortunately, sometimes it takes to really get people to get up and, okay, I'm going to do something different now, or I'm going to do something that's out of my comfort zone. And and I'm happy that you mentioned Mitch McConnell too, because this movement, Convention of States, and people can go to conventionofstates.com to sign the petition and get involved. It is a bipartisan, it's a nonpartisan movement. I mean, we have to be nonpartisan because of our tax status. And I mean, the problem is on Republicans and Democrats that people, they get in power and they just are all about, accumulating money and keeping their cushy jobs instead of serving the people, which is what they had, promised to do. So that's something important to mention.
Yeah, and thinking one of the most important things, in my opinion, is the term limits. And the reason why is because, see, the founding fathers believed naively that Americans would maintain common sense. And what I mean is that, okay, let's say if you're a business owner and you run for office, your offspring or your business partner or whatever should be allowed to run that business and it be successful and keep growing and whatever, okay? As long as you're not personally involved in the workings of the business while you are in office. Now, if you know that you're termed out 1 or 2 terms, you're going to legislate on behalf of the ability to conduct business in the free marketplace, as opposed to what we have now of these career politicians that cushion themselves while making it more difficult for people to exercise their business acumen. And so I'm really on board with you guys when it comes to term limits. It's a shame that because of the degradation against morality, such things even have to happen. I mean, common sense should kick in. Oh, we should legislate so that people can operate best. Where the opposite it happens, because it's like power corrupts, absolute power corrupts, whatever, you know how that goes. I'm sounding like Joe Biden. You know the thing.
You know the thing.
Yeah. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely, or something like that. But anyway, these people are drunk on power, Schumer and the rest of them, and they are killing this country in the process.
They sure are. Yeah, it's really sad, and I mean, just we're praying and hoping that people will just wake up in time, and I think there's a lot of energy in all these different groups like Moms for Liberty and all these other groups that are out there, Two-Way Patriots and all of that. So yeah, I mean, we just are trying to keep it going, and we always need people and the commitment. If people are willing to help us out with this is, I mean, none of us get paid in Michigan that are working on this. We're all doing this in our spare time. A lot of us have, full-time jobs and things, and people can be so helpful. Like, for example, if people are retired, a lot of times retired people end up doing a lot of babysitting. Well, what kind of future are those grandkids going to have? I mean, you can maybe have more benefit to them by getting involved with something like this.
Yeah. Real quick, you got about 30 seconds. Tell me about the outreach to the young, because that's my real concern here as well. It's about reaching the young, and I don't know if making it appealing to the young is the right approach, but the message in a way that it attracts the young and they get involved, because they are the nation's future, and if they're not prepared to be Americans in the classic sense, again, we're doomed. Yep. What say you?
Yeah, we have someone who's our coalition director with Turning Point USA. I think she's about 23, and she's going to soon be speaking at college campuses about Convention of States alongside Turning Point. So we're absolutely, trying to touch those people too.
Excellent. Maybe we could have her on the show sometime in the near future too. Like to do that.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us again, and we look forward to hearing from you next time, and as you give us another update on Convention of States.
You're so welcome, and it's conventionofstates.com, all one word.
All right.
Thanks
so much. Talk to you next time.
Take care. Yep.
God
bless.
Now.
Bye.
Well, there she goes, Michelle Haroon of Convention of States and conventionofstates.com if you're interested in that, and you can join their fight for liberty. I'm Ron Edwards, and we shall continue our fight for liberty when I return.
Blowing away the myths and revealing the truth on the Ron Edwards American Experience. Constitutional Grounds, the hot air roasted coffee that produces a smoother, richer, healthier, and less acidic coffee. Our unique hot air roasted coffee has a most delicious taste that everyone is raving about.
Because you want the best, Constitutional Grounds is the coffee you want in your cup. Simply go to theronedwards.com and click on to the Constitutional Grounds coffee display to make your purchase, and to be sure to use the RE20 promo code and you will receive a 20% discount. Remember, Constitutional Grounds, the coffee you want in your cup.
You're listening to the K-Star Talk Radio Network, broadcasting truth around the world.
The Sixth Amendment of the United States Constitution states that in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy public trial. Hello, I'm Ron Edwards. On today's page from the Edwards Notebook, brought to you by Constitutional Grounds Coffee. The penalty for trespassing on government property like the United States Capitol building is 6 months in jail, plus $1,000 maximum penalty. Yet, Americans who went into the U.S. Capitol building on January 6th have been detained for more than 10 months. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene and 5 other representatives have discovered that those still locked up have possibly been physically abused and in some cases denied medical care. Allegedly, authorities are committing misprison of felony by knowing about certain individuals being put in solitary confinement before being indicted. I urge you to join me in contacting our representatives now and demand the January 6 Americans be released today. Thank you, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, for checking in on those still locked up while the Biden regime abuses this entire republic every single day. I'm Ron Edwards. If you want the best coffee ever, simply go to theronedwards.com and place your order now for Constitutional Grounds Coffee, the coffee you want in your cup.
Ron Edwards, the new voice of America.
If you're taking a calcium supplement, it's probably not doing what you think it is. That's because you still lose bone density with traditional calcium supplements. That's where calcium from algae comes in. Algae Cal Plus doesn't just stop bone loss. It's the only supplement ever shown to increase bone density in clinical studies. That's right. Algae Cal Plus increases bone density, even if you're in your 80s. That's because your bones need more than just calcium and vitamin D to stay strong. There are actually 13 minerals and 3 vitamins needed to build healthy new bone, and Algae Cal Plus contains all of them, and it's proudly made in the USA. Your calcium doesn't increase bone density. Algae Cal Plus does. Talk to one of our bone health consultants today and see how Algae Cal Plus can start increasing your bone density. Call now.
800-418-2340. That's 800-418-2340.
The Ron Edwards American Experience, the talk show that celebrates America and reminds everyone she's worth fighting for. Join me, host Ron Edwards, and also don't miss a daily page from the Edwards Notebook Commentary, right here on
K-Star Talk Radio Network.
Liberty Works Radio Network.
The last frequency.
Ron Edwards, the new voice of America.
We're back. You're listening to the Ron Edwards American Experience. Thanks so much for being with me today and every day, that is. You can also catch the podcasts wherever podcasts are available. Spotify, iHeartRadio, name them all. They're there. Also, check out my Rumble channel, The Ron Edwards, and you can find this broadcast also as well in podcast form, and you'll hear some of my commentaries called the Edwards Notebook on the Rumble channel as well, and you can go ahead and join up. Don't just stop by and listen, join up as well. You know, every day, my friends, Joe Biden, Uncle Joe, and the creepy Congress import an average of about, let's say 10,000 illegal border crossers from third world nations into this republic turned mobocracy. Most of them cannot speak and refuse to learn English. They lack any educational background, many of them, and I'm not trying to be funny here, many of them don't even know about flushing toilets. Wah, wah, wah. They carry corrosive cultural practices They head toward the welfare and food stamp offices of each city where they're directed to go to, where Biden flies them, of course. They arrive there from 190 different countries at your expense and my expense. If you visit Detroit, the former motor capital of the world, 300,000 Middle Eastern migrants, immigrants, many illegal border crossers have turned the former motor capital of the world into an Islamic enclave, complete with blaring music across the rooftops, especially in Dearbornistan and Hamtramck. You won't see Old Glory flying anywhere in Dearbornistan or Hamtramck. Hamtramck used to be a Polish-oriented enclave, but when it was dominated by Polish people, they were proud to be an American. You saw American flags. You saw many wonderful businesses, especially bakeries. Yum, 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 yum. And those famous punchkis. Oh. You will not hear English being spoken now in Hamtramck, but you will see women in black dresses, with head coverings, of course. The spoken language? Arabic, of course, where they roll the R's. When you visit beautiful Miami, yes, it is beautiful, especially at night when those buildings are glittering in the nighttime sky. You will not hear English, but you will hear Spanish. Miami, many say, is no longer an American city, although I know some great people in that city. It's very beautiful. It's more like Mexico City, not physically, mind you, because Miami is very clean, very beautiful. It does have a ghetto, but it's, but I'm talking about the speaking of Spanish. The same goes for Los Angeles, where it is filthy like Mexico City, where in excess of 4.0 million illegal border crossers preside with immunity from our laws. They can go and beat the crap out of black Americans. Nothing will happen. They can beat the crap out of white Americans. Nothing will happen. They can rape, pillage, do whatever the hangnail they want to do. Nothing will happen. They don't act, speak, or think like born and raised Americans, and they don't want to. They, like Democrats, want to destroy what's left of this exceptional nation way of life. If you visit the one-time very pleasant city of Minneapolis, you cannot avoid Somaliland, where 125,000, actually it's more than that, Somalian border crossers dominate the welfare rolls, food stamp stores, and housing. They've trashed the schools and run drugs into every available once American neighborhood. Why is that, my friends? The answer, that's where illiterate people do. That's what they do. They run drugs and beat up other people, rape other people, and they drag their knuckles. Oh, yeah. Whenever I say that about knuckle draggers, you would be amazed at how many people get offended when I call people that murder, rape, pillage neighborhoods and all that, when I call them knuckle draggers. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, heavens to Murgatroyd. You better not say that about them. You're being divisive. You're being racist. You're a bigot. But yet they don't say anything about the bigotry of individuals walking down the street, raping people, beating up old ladies. They have nothing to say about that. So I say a pox on these hypocrites. If you visit the one-time very friendly city of Chicago, still very beautiful, especially at night with its gleaming world-class skyline, you may have to dodge errant bullets at any hour of the day now. Even the Magnificent Mile is pockmarked with criminal activity. The schools in the Windy City suffer trashing, gunfire, theft, and disorder. And you wonder why Chicago is called the Windy City? Many people think it's because of the wind, when in actuality, Cleveland and Boston are much windier on average than Chicago. The reason why Chicagoland is called the Windy City is because of the hot air that comes out of the backsides or the mouths of the politicians. of Chicago. What's coming with all the multiculturalism and diversity? The answer? When illiterate grunts, angry border crossers cannot resolve their issues, they start shooting. Boom, boom. Yep. Boom, boom. A suspect who allegedly shot a Milwaukee police officer just a month ago pleaded, not guilty, not guilty, to attempted first-degree intentional homicide and other charges. I think they had him on video, but he said, it's funny, they don't know English, but he knows to say, not guilty, not guilty. A 22-year-old Asian border crosser thug knuckle dragger, Jetron Rodthong, that's a funny name, Jetron Rodthong, faces a $1 million bond in the case. Yep. In addition to attempted first-degree intentional homicide, he's also facing 3 counts of bail jumping, possession of drugs, second-degree recklessly endangering safety. Yep. He's also facing charges. He was operating a vehicle without a owner's consent and hit and run involving injury. Man, he's a real great guy, right? On the evening of January 27th this year, Officer Herbert Davis III was called to the city's Menominee Valley neighborhood to check on a person who was sick or injured. Davis initially found Rodthong slumped over in a vehicle, and the suspect tried to run away after being woken up. The two exchanged gunfire, and both were struck before Rodthong allegedly fled the scene. In Davis's squad car, Rodthong crashed into another vehicle and fled on foot, and was later captured, though, by other police officers. At the time of the shooting, Rodthong sported multiple open felony cases, according to court records. Police arrested him twice in August of 2020 on charges of resisting arrest, possessing drugs, and driving a vehicle without an owner's consent. He was also arrested in March of 2020 for attempting to flee a police officer in a vehicle. I've got a question for you, my friends. I've got a question for those government, or as they say down south, those government officials. Why in the hell was he out, walking about? After all those charges, enough charges to stretch the length of my arm. You know, I don't have the little short Tyrannosaurus Rex arms. All these charges, and he was walking about. See, when you have liberals in law enforcement, that is a recipe for disaster, trauma. Man alive. Milwaukee County Sheriff's Deputy Christian Almonte was shot on January 26th while searching a neighborhood following a traffic stop. On January 13th, an off-duty Milwaukee police detective was shot while simply trying to stop an attempted robbery. Both the deputy and detective survived their brutal wounds. The Rodthong thug is one case among thousands and thousands of refugee border crossers who arrived from the third world, the brutal place of uncivilized, beastly humans, and now will be carrying on the same violent behaviors in your neighborhood as their 10,000 additional numbers every single day reach your sweet little American city at some point. And some of the people in your neighborhood vote for the politicians that keep the borders open, which in time could endanger every single civilized American. And some people have said that this is harsh for me to say things this way. But which would you rather have? Someone saying things the way that I'm saying them, or the continuation of the knuckle draggers having their way with your daughters or your little boys if they capture them? Huh? What say you, my friends? If Biden keeps importing these knuckle draggers and Congress keeps importing them into our midst, very little of America will be left for your children and your children's children in the coming years, and I mean soon. I'm not talking about 20 years down the road. maybe just a year or two. Man, oh man, oh man. As one who has watched this happening in the former motor capital of the world, Detroit, over a 20-year period, I see exactly the same future for all of our American cities as we import the refugees of the world with wildly incompatible cultures to foment the problems of the world within our very delicate but unique American culture. How much time do we have left to save ourselves? By the end of the 2020s, we are expected to add another 30 million more border crossers. I say that we, the American people, stop the madness. I say that the trucker situation is just step one in the effort to restore life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in these United States of America. Let us join hands. Let us join with our Canadian brethren, truck drivers, who are standing for liberty. In a way, I'm kind of embarrassed as a United States sovereign. I don't call myself a citizen. There's a reason why I rarely say citizen. If I say citizen, it's by accident. Because when you say that you're a citizen, you're saying that you're a slave of the state. Nope, you're a sovereign. If you belong to anyone, you belong to God. And then yourself, not the government who wants to rule you from cradle to grave and then run you into the ground early through vaccinations. Well, vaccinations that are not actually vaccinations. Biden wants to add another 8 million illegal border crossers on his own in the very near future. Why aren't people speaking about this? Why? Oh, there's a few of us, yours truly, of course. And there's, a few others here and there, but not a whole lot. When you compare how large this problem is, the number of people throughout the American media speaking about this on a regular basis is very few. Well, I'm going to continue to speak about it on this broadcast on a regular basis. And I'm going to continue to push for the effort to stop the madness. I mean, we have no choice, my friends. If we don't stop it, we will not have a country. And if these people, these grunts take control, hey, you won't hear the truth anymore. They will stop churches like they do in their own brutish lands. They will stop free enterprise, which they don't have in most of the countries in which they come from. They will just unravel everything that is part of what made America, or the United States of America, the one-time envy of the world. Let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. We'll continue on this, the Ron Edwards American Experience.
Blowing away the myths and revealing the truth on the Ron Edwards American Experience. Constitutional Grounds, the hot air roasted coffee that produces a smoother, richer, healthier, and less acidic coffee. Our unique hot air roasted coffee has a most delicious taste that everyone is raving about. Because you want the best, Constitutional Grounds is the coffee you want in your cup. Simply go to theronedwards.com and click on to the Constitutional Grounds coffee display to make your purchase, and to be sure to use the RE20 promo code and you will receive a 20% discount. Remember, Constitutional Grounds, the coffee you want in your cup.
Nobody wants to get ripped off, broken into, or robbed, but nobody wants to pay a lot of money to have their home protected either. I've got an offer to tell you about to provide home security for your home for less than $1 a day. For real, with no installation or equipment charges. And this is from a company rated #1 by a leading consumer research company. According to the facts, most of you won't even call unless there's a burglary in your neighborhood or something bad happened. So let's give you a reason. Save money. For less than $1 a day with no other costs, you can get your home secured. Plus, get a lifetime equipment replacement warranty. You need protection for your home. Call the Home Security Hotline right now.
800-430-6715. That's 800-430-6715. 6715.
Attention timeshare owners. Are you dissatisfied with your timeshare? Tired of the financial burden? Were you misled by the salesperson? Don't want or can't use your timeshare anymore? Then you may qualify for timeshare cancellation. Timeshare Defense Attorneys is the #1 affordable fixed fee legal solution in the country with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Our experienced lawyers will evaluate your case, and if we take you on as a client, we will work on your case until it's solved in your favor. That's our 100% satisfaction guarantee. One of our lawyers will keep you informed in the process, all while protecting your rights, interest, and even your credit. Get the relief you need now from the burden of your timeshare. Call now for a free consultation, and don't forget to ask about our stimulus discount program.
Call 800-492-8151. That's 800-492-8151.
Listening to the Ron Edwards American Experience. Man, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yep, we're back. It certainly doesn't get better than this. You and I together, speaking up for liberty, truth, and justice. Oh, absolutely. And the restoration of the United States of America and Canada. Thank you, Canada, for showing us or reminding us of what we should be doing here in the United States of America. And for all you folks listening throughout the 23 nations around the world, thank you so much for tuning in. Well, my friends, according to the American Federation of Teachers President Randy Weingarten, before I go any further, just want to let you know this is just yet another example that proves me correct once again when I tell you about how the leftists hate. They are the people of hate. According to American Federation of Teachers President Randy Weingarten, school children should be forced to keep wearing masks until there is zero transmission of the coronavirus in schools. Teachers Union boss Randy Weingarten says that she will only support unmasking children, she calls them kids, when there is zero coronavirus transmission. Well, you know something? Parents, it's time for you all to really act like parents and take your children out because they're killing your children. And of course, they won't die immediately right now. But what I'm saying is that they are short-circuiting their ability to grow, not only physically, but mentally as well. They're harming their IQ. They're harming their lungs. They're harming their circulation, their hearts, the oxygen levels in their bodies, their circulation. As part of her rambling, incoherent answer, Weingarten said that it's not the teachers transmitting to children. It's more kids to kids. Of course, we know scientifically, and in reality, that's not even true. Out of the admitted 8 million children that have caught or whatever the coronavirus and the variants and the Omicron, that's the admitted cases, okay? Only about 771 children have died. And in many of those cases, we're finding out that number was actually blown up or exaggerated because many of those children who died from other causes, even though they might have had the coronavirus, but what killed them was not the coronavirus. Oops. Which makes it, if you do the math, let's do a little math. 0.9% or 8%. 0.8%. Do the math. Now, do you think that is enough to make children wear masks, which, by the way, does more harm and does not help? I mean, did we lock children up for dying, which about 1,000 die a year from flu? Flu. About 1,000 die per year for flu. We're not locking the schools down for that. I mean, we're not locking their lungs up. This is what they want to do. They want to lock their lungs up. They have them sitting, and I've seen these pictures in New York schools, with glass or plastic around their desks. Then they have a mask on top, so there's no circulation of air. It's stagnant around them already, and then you put a mask on top of it? These evil people know that they are ruining millions of American children. That's their goal, to ruin Americans. That is why those same, the people of that same ilk who are in politics, in political positions, say it's okay for illegal border crossers to reject the shots. And they don't have to wear the masks. They don't have to do anything. They're just here. Well, just, America just kisses their backsides and give them whatever they want. Oh, you can rape our children. You can do whatever you want. It's okay. But we the people, the American people who taught the world how to roll on wheels, who gave the world so much in so many ways throughout the years and throughout the great history of this great republic, the way we're paying now, it is unconscionable. It is just totally immoral and totally evil. And it's got to be stopped. We've got to work together, my friends. 200 million of us. 200 million of us. That's a great number. That will wake the world up. That'll wake the entire planet up. We were waking the planet up when Donald Trump was in office. Things were turning around. Things were getting better. And now you've got 30% of Americans who are in support of what's going on. Actually, more than that, and that are actually in support of the evil that is going on now. Terrible stuff. But what's good is that good folks like you are out there. You're listening to this broadcast. You're getting involved in your communities with fellow patriots, with fellow Christians, believers in God. And together we are linking up, not only through truck driving, but through other areas too, driving the demons out of the school boards, driving the demons out of the city councils, out of the state legislatures. We've got to get local.
Stage right.
See, I'm being told to get out. He said to exit. Stage right. Get out. Okay, I go now. But anyway, folks, thanks so much for joining. We'll be back in 23 hours right here on the Ron Edwards American Experience. Pray for your nation. Pray for your neighbors, even the leftist ones. God help them. I'm Ron Edwards. Until next time, bye now.